So I'm walking home and I walked past my old junior high school, and I just want to show you that these kids did, and they pasted just outside the window. This is how they feel during the pandemic. Alone, void, bored, trapped, controlled, stressed, helpless, again, bored, frustrated, bored, lies.
Many children have reported increased feelings of social isolation, depression, and anxiety. It is important to keep the negative impacts of these measures in mind, particularly when looking at a population that is at lower risk of severe outcomes from COVID-19. Looking at our data right here in Alberta, children have had very low rates of severe illness compared with other health risks. For example, last year in 2020, 4 times more school-aged children were admitted to hospital for fall-related injuries, and almost 8 times as many were admitted to hospital for anxiety disorders than for COVID-19.
Throughout the end of the last school year, many parents were willing to go along with masking for their children, but these same parents saw negative impacts in the well-being, both mentally and physically, of their children, and they have had enough. Parents are committing to not allowing their children to be masked again this year when they go back to school. If you agree that medical segregation and forced masking are wrong, and you want to help us fight against vaccine passports, go to fightvaccinepassports.com.
Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship.
Adam Soos here for Rebel News, and we are on location at the Calgary Board of Education building here, where Lawyers for Truth has organized a Boycott Schools protest in opposition to the Calgary Board of Education's decision to mask all students. So what brings you out today?
I don't believe masks work, and I don't want to muzzle my child. So I feel that this is actually my first time ever down here doing this at all. But I feel it's important because I feel like the kids are not at risk, and I just feel it's important because they need to breathe the fresh air.
And so you mentioned this is your first time. It's very interesting. We'll see people often when kids are being targeted or when moms are going to bat for their kids become activated that have never been activated before. Maybe can you tell us about that draw to finally become politically active?
I feel like none of this makes sense, right? So when we opened up for the summer and all that stuff, because Stampede, that sort of thing, I thought, we'll see what happens at school, but I gave a promise to myself I would not do this to my child for another year. I did it last year because I thought, I just didn't know what I do know today, and now that I know what I know today, I would never do that to my child again. So if that means that I have to go in and take her out of that and teach her myself, I will.
They're being put in a box. They're being told, they're not being told what to learn. They're being taught to comply. That's not giving them a chance to grow. That's not allowing them to connect. They're just being robots, you know what I mean? So I want them to be able to explore themselves. I want them to be able to identify with self. I want them to grow. I don't want this comply as best you can, because they're never going to find their true selves that way.
So the police have effectively shut down the road. What do you think of the turnout? What are you making of the event?
You know what? I am super impressed with Calgarians to show up at 10 a.m. on a Wednesday morning for the first day of school. I think with the police allowing us and supporting us with this pathway on the street, I don't know. I'm excited. I'm hopeful that there is a shift going on within our community, and people are going to.
Well, folks at this event are discussing mask mandates and vaccine passports, and YouTube doesn't want us showing you their full opinions. If you want to get the full uncensored video, go to rebelnews.com or click the link on the description below.